What up YouTube, TK here with my boys in Adelaide, and today we are going to be tasting a specialty cake from Adelaide. That's it, the frog cake. Here we go. So what is it that makes this so special? Well, for one, it's an icon. It's from Adelaide, I'm from Adelaide, that's cool. Nobody else has this. Two, it's fun, it looks like a frog, it's a cake. And of course, it's the anatomy of the frog cake that makes it special. You've got four major components to your Balfour's frog cake. Icing, tasty, sweet, delicious, holds the whole thing together, gives the frog cake its colour. First frog cake was of course green because it's a frog cake. Frogs are green, mostly, I think. Next, you have the sponge. Now, by itself, sponge can be dry, uninspiring, not very flavorful. However, then you bring in the jam and the cream. And this is what makes the frog cake so special. The frog cake basically brings your grandma's old-fashioned triple-decker jam and cream layered sponge cake from Christmas that was 4 miles high and you felt sick afterwards, but you always went back for another slice. And it puts it in the palm of your hand. Just look at this form factor. Up close you can really see the frog cake in all its glory. Now, this poor little guy has lost his ice on the trip back to Melbourne, but that's okay. You can see he's got his little cream mouth in there. What I like is Balfour's don't try too hard to dress it up. The frogs aren't cheery and smiling and grinning all the time. The quality control involved would be too intense and frankly not representative of the real world. You see, the frogs don't always smile. In fact, quite often they look stressed, dismayed, or just generally give you a sense of unease. And that's okay because real life is hard and the frogs don't feel the need to put on a brave face. They're happy to just get on with their day and tell it like it is. Now the frog cake is just an excellent form factor. At 51 by 51 millimeters, it really does fit well in the hand. And at 69 millimeters high, not only does it carry a bit of innuendo, but it is an energy-packed cake. Now you want to know what it tastes like. Well, I'm going to show you how I like to eat a frog cake. This actually stems from when I was a very young boy. The frog cake wasn't as expensive then as it is now, but it's never been a cheap cake, and when you're 5 years old, you don't really need the full 9 yards of cream and sponge and jam. It'll send you running around like a lunatic. So my mum would always give me half. Now, you might think, half a frog cake, is that really good enough? But actually, the way I like to do things, I think it's actually better. You see, the frog cake is all about the combination, the interplay between the sponge, the jam, the cream, and the icing. You see, think about having a handful of cream wrapped in icing. It'd just be too sweet and gooey. You wouldn't get anything out of it. It'd be too much. By the same token, you don't want to eat an entire handful of sponge cake, do you? It's too dry. You need to get a mixture in your mouth all at the same time, and that's what makes the frog cake great. They're trying to guide you down this path themselves. They're giving you a hint, and the trick is it's all in the mouth. You take your knife, I've just got a regular butter knife here, you hold Mr. Froggy, and you just slice diagonally. What you get is sponge, jam, sponge, and cream, all wrapped in icing. The trick is, like this, you can easily get your mouth around it to get any combination of sponge and cream that you want, and you can enjoy it at your own pace. And the other really beautiful thing is, it gives you another half to share with a friend. So here we have it, the final taste test. After over 100 years in production, have Balfour's still got it? Or have they lost the secret art of baking a frog cake? Let's find out. Starting off with a bit of cream. Oh, that sponge. And the tang from the jam, just, oh, delicious. Now, oh boy. It's a really smooth, rich, creamy flavour, but it's not too much and it's not too sweet. And it plays really nicely with the sponge and the jam. And the icing is just there to hold it all together. Now, I've always been a green frog man, so this is more chocolatey than I'm used to. It's actually, I believe, the same chocolate as you'll find on a Balfour's chocolate donut. It's quite tasty, it's good icing. Even after all these years, it's still such a fantastic cake. The cream, the sponge, the jam, the icing, it melts in your mouth, especially with a nice hot cup of tea or coffee. It's just wonderful, and it's made even better by the fact that it is such an icon, and for a lot of us, me included, a real nostalgia trip. It's amazing after all these years, they're still just as good as they ever were. I'm going to finish this bad boy off. Thanks for watching, hope you've enjoyed the video. Till next time, TK out.